Imagine waking up tomorrow to a news alert so profound it renders your morning coffee cold, forgotten on the counter because the numbers on your screen, the ones you've tracked for years with a mixture of hope and skepticism, have finally, decisively, irrevocably changed. The digital ticker for the Iraqi Dinar, often a stagnant line in the grand theater of global finance, is suddenly alive, pulsing with a volatility that whispers of a seismic shift deep within the plumbing of the international monetary system. This is not a drill, and this is not the usual cycle of rumor and letdown that has characterized this journey for so many. What we are discussing right now is the operational activation of a protocol so significant, so layered in procedural jargon like Tier 4B and Phase 3, that its very occurrence signals a move from theoretical planning into tangible, executable reality. The opening of a 36-hour redemption window is not an event that happens in a vacuum. It is the crescendo of a symphony of compliance checks, bilateral agreements, and systemic verifications that have been composing themselves in silent backrooms far from the public eye. For the dedicated holder, the individual who secured these banknotes perhaps years ago, this moment transcends mere financial gain. It represents the validation of a profound patience, a test of faith in a geopolitical and economic realignment that many experts dismissed as pure fantasy. The RV, or revaluation, is often spoken of as a singular event, a flashbulb moment where a rate pops onto a screen, but the truth is far more granular. It is a process, a phased unlocking of liquidity and recognition, and Phase 3 represents a critical juncture where institutional pathways are energized, allowing for the formal exchange of the currency at a rate divorced from its current, publicly traded value. This tiered alert system, often cryptic by design to manage flow and prevent systemic shock, is now flashing a code that initiates specific actions for specific tiers of holders and institutions. The redemption window is precisely that, a finite aperture in time through which certain transactions under newly authorized terms can be processed. Its brevity, 36 hours, is not an arbitrary scare tactic but a mechanism of control, a way to manage the operational load on banking and clearinghouse systems that must handle inquiries and processes of unprecedented nature and scope. Think of it not as a frantic sprint but as the opening of a designated gate for a structured procession. The intelligence suggesting this window is now live comes from a confluence of data points. Unusual financial messaging traffic between correspondent banks, specific instructional updates within certain digital banking platforms accessible only to accredited entities, and a tangible shift in the tenor of communications from key financial oversight bodies that, while couched in dense legalese, point towards the activation of contingency protocols for exotic currency exchanges. The Iraqi dinar itself, the paper you hold, is a symbol of a nation's potential, a token of oil-rich reserves and a strategic position in a volatile region, but its journey to this point has been a marathon of economic reforms. To fully comprehend the gravity of a Tier 4B alert, we must first dismantle the monolithic concept of the revaluation, and view it instead as a multi-layered, access-controlled software update being installed across the global financial network. Tiers are the access levels, the clearances required to interact with the new system at different stages and with different asset volumes. Tier 4B sits at a specific intersection within this architecture. It is not the highest sovereign level, nor is it the broad retail level. It is often associated with substantial, pre-registered holdings, certain types of institutional accounts, and specific vehicle-based assets that were positioned ahead of the public rollout. The 4 often denotes a category of asset or holder that has undergone a prior verification and accreditation process, perhaps through private banking channels or specialized investment vehicles. The B suffix can indicate a subphase, a specific wave within that tier being cleared for action. The activation of Tier 4B is therefore a massive logistical signal. It means the initial highest-level sovereign and interbank exchanges, the unseen tiers above, have been successfully executed, providing the liquidity backbone and establishing the new benchmark rates within the closed-loop system. It means the core system integrity checks are complete. Now, the process is moving down the chain, activating the next layer of participants. This phased, tiered release is the only way to prevent a catastrophic flood of simultaneous transactions that would crash banking software and create instant, global chaos. It is a pressure valve system. Think of it like boarding a massive aircraft. First class and priority boarders, the higher tiers, are seated first to clear the gateway efficiently, then subsequent groups are called in order. Phase 3 is the call for that specific boarding group, Tier 4B. The RV Live status for this group means the digital pathway for their specific type of transaction is now hot. The software flags on their accounts, visible only to them and their banking managers, have changed from pending or held to authorized for redemption procedures. This is why the communication is so vital and yet so obscure. It is targeting a specific demographic within the holder community with specific instructions. The 36-hour window is the dedicated time block during which this tier can initiate its redemption protocols. It does not mean the entire process must be completed in 36 hours. Initiation is key. Submitting the proper code, accessing the dedicated portal, filing the intent to exchange form, these are the activation steps that must occur within the window. The subsequent settlement, wire transfer, or asset conversion may take additional days or weeks to clear through all the verification layers, but the crucial trigger pull happens now. This structured approach also serves as the ultimate authenticity filter. Any source claiming the RV is live for everyone, or offering a generic, non-tiered rate is fundamentally misunderstanding the process or engaging in deception. The real event is meticulous, sequential, and quiet. The ramifications of a live Phase 3 redemption window, particularly for a currency like the Iraqi dinar, extend far beyond individual portfolio balances and ripple directly into the fragile tectonic plates of global geopolitics and economic alliances. This is not merely a financial adjustment. It is a recalibration of national standing, a settlement of historical debt, and a powerful signal about the future alignment of economic power in the Middle East and its relationship with the West. To view this event solely through the lens of personal wealth is to miss its profound historical significance. Iraq, sitting atop some of the world's most vast and accessible oil reserves, has for decades been a nexus of conflict, sanction, and reconstruction. Its currency's value has been artificially suppressed, a function of war, instability, and deliberate economic containment. A legitimate, internationally recognized revaluation is, in essence, the financial manifestation of the country's journey back to sovereign economic normality. It represents the culmination of Chapter 7 debt releases, the compliance with International Monetary Fund austerity and reform programs, and the hard-won political stability that allows a nation to command the true worth of its assets on the global stage. The activation of Tier 4B is a de facto international endorsement of that journey. By allowing this tier to redeem, the global banking community, led by the BIS and the major central banks, is acknowledging that Iraq has met the stringent, non-negotiable conditions to re-enter the fold of nations with fully convertible, freely traded currency. This has immediate downstream effects. Neighboring Iran and Syria, also under various degrees of monetary isolation, will watch this process with intense scrutiny, seeing it as a potential roadmap or a test case for their own future reintegration. Gulf Cooperation Council states, particularly Kuwait with its historical claims, have a direct stake in the outcome, as a stronger, financially viable Iraq alters the balance of power in the region. Furthermore, the petrodollar system itself, the decades-old agreement that oil is sold in US dollars, faces a subtle but significant challenge. A robust, valuable Iraqi dinar allows Iraq more flexibility. It could begin to invoice some of its oil exports in its own strengthened currency, or in a basket of currencies including its own, reducing its absolute dependency on the dollar. This is not an overnight shift, but the activation of this phase makes it a tangible future possibility, contributing to the slow, global movement towards de-dollarization that nations like China and Russia openly advocate. From an economic perspective, the injection of substantial liquidity from these redeemed assets into the global system is not trivial. While tiered to prevent a shock, the aggregate effect of successive tier activations will be a massive movement of capital. Some of this capital will seek safe havens in hard assets like gold, real estate in stable countries, or strategic commodities. A significant portion is also likely to be earmarked for investment, not just passive wealth storage but active project financing. This is where the narrative transforms from currency exchange to economic awakening. Holders who successfully navigate the redemption process become potential nodes of capital for humanitarian projects, infrastructure development in post-conflict zones, technology startups, and green energy initiatives. The intelligence community and economic think tanks are not monitoring this for the currency swap itself, but for the directional flow of the subsequent capital. It represents a potential soft power realignment, where new wealth structures independent of traditional Western banking dynasties can form and fund a different kind of global development. For you, the viewer, this broader context is essential. It means the steps you take now are part of a much larger historical current. Your preparedness and successful navigation of the procedural window contribute to the stability of this phased rollout. Panic, public disclosure of sensitive procedural details, or attempts to circumvent the tiered structure can introduce noise and risk into a delicately balanced operation. Your discipline is a civic contribution to the success of a complex global financial event. It also informs your post-redemption thinking. Your screen is displaying this information. The seconds are ticking down within that 36-hour operational window, and the weight of decision is now tangible. This is the transition from intelligence to action, and the bridge between them is a concrete, disciplined, and private plan. Let's architect that plan right now, step by silent step, devoid of panic, full of purpose. First, implement an immediate information quarantine. For the next critical hours, mute the social media groups, avoid the comment sections, and disregard any new guru email blast claiming to have the final rate. The signal you need is no longer in the crowd, it is in your own documented financial relationship and the official channels tied to it. The noise will now reach a crescendo of confusion, speculation, and deliberate misinformation aimed at capitalizing on this alert. Your firewall against this is focus. Second, conduct a secure audit of your position. In a private, secure setting, gather every single piece of documentation related to your Iraqi Dinar holding. This includes purchase receipts, bank deposit slips, certificate numbers, contract agreements with any investment group, and records of any communications with financial advisors on this asset. Create a single, password-protected digital folder with scanned copies of these documents. Organize them chronologically. This is not an exercise in nostalgia, it is the assembly of your procedural key. The specific details on these documents, account numbers, registration names, certificate serial numbers, will be the required fields in any legitimate redemption form. Third, identify your legitimate point of contact. This is the most critical step. If you hold your dinar in a bank account, especially an international or private bank account, your point of contact is that institution's private client service line or your designated relationship manager. If you hold physical notes without a bank relationship, your point of contact may be the official redemption portal that will be announced via very specific official channels. Likely the website of the Iraqi Central Bank's International Department or a designated, authorized financial agency website. Do not search for this portal via public search engines. Type in the official URL you have previously bookmarked from verified sources. If your holding is through a trust or an asset pool, your contact is the trustee or the fund administrator. Fourth, initiate discreet contact. Using a secure line, reach out to your identified point of contact. Your opening question is not, "Is the RV real?" or "What's the rate?" That marks you immediately as uninformed. Your opening statement should be calm and procedural. "I am calling regarding my asset holding in Iraqi Dinar, reference number, your number, and I am seeking guidance on any current procedural updates or redemption window instructions pertaining to my account tier." This language signals that you understand this is a matter of process, not hype. Listen carefully. They may direct you to a secure message portal within your online banking, provide a specific case number, or schedule a callback. Follow their instructions exactly. Fifth, execute the initiation protocol. Whether it is logging into a specific URL, entering a code in a banking app's message center, or downloading and completing a PDF form, do so methodically. Double-check every entry against your documentation audit. Accuracy is paramount. A single-digit error can flag your submission for manual review, causing delays that could push you outside the initiation window. Once submitted, secure a digital confirmation receipt, a screenshot, a case number, and email auto-reply. This is your proof of initiation. Sixth, practice absolute operational security. Do not discuss your specific actions, your point of contact, your reference numbers, or your submission details with anyone other than a legally bound spouse or financial partner. Do not post, "I just filed my form," online. The integrity of the entire tiered process relies on the systemic management of load and security. Loose lips do not just risk your own position. They contribute to potential targeting by bad actors and can undermine the procedural integrity for others. Seventh, manage your expectations for the follow-on. Initiation within the window secures your place in the queue. The actual settlement, the appearance of funds in your account, the option to convert to another currency or asset, will follow according to the timeline communicated by your point of contact. This could be days or weeks. Use this time constructively. Consult with a legitimate, fee-based tax attorney and financial planner who operates under fiduciary duty to understand the implications of a large capital event. Do not take advice from anyone who approaches you unsolicited or whose revenue model is based on selling information. This 7-step plan is your blueprint for navigating a live, high-stakes financial procedure. It replaces anxiety with agenda. It transforms you from a spectator into a participant operating within the defined parameters of the event. The final and perhaps most important call to action is this. The window is a doorway, but what lies beyond it is a landscape of responsibility and possibility that demands even greater clarity of thought. Do not let the culmination of this long journey be the end of your financial intelligence. Let it be the foundation of a new, more impactful chapter. The information flow